Welcome back, all you fine people on the internet, for a news of the day video for your Wednesday. Now that we've got the regular season officially started, so some news to talk about. The Buffalo Sabres. What is going on with Buffalo? First off, Don Granato has signed a 2-year extension as the coach, so they're keeping him around. That's good. I mean, they extended the GM not that long ago. Kevin Adams given an extension. Now Don Granato gets one as well. But the real eyebrow raiser today, and I admire their moxie. So Matthias Samuelsson, and I've seen people not sure about who Matthias Samuelsson is. Fair, because he has signed a 7-year contract. The cap hit is $4,285,714. It's a $2 million bonus, so he gets paid that straight up right now, or well, he gets paid that straight up in 2023 on July 1st. Gotta get back July 1st as the payout dates now. So that it kicks in next season. So this is the ultimate betting on the future, right? This is a speculative contract of sorts. They did see him for 42 games last year. He had 10 assists. In his career, he has 54 games played and 12 assists. I saw the comparison. I think it was Chris Johnston that said it's comparable to the deal that Klingberg signed with Dallas when he had about 60 games of NHL experience in 2015. And that's pretty accurate. The difference, of course, is that Samuelsson's a defensive defenseman and Klingberg was all offense. So this is a contract that, honestly, I'll be interested to see how Samuelsson does and whether or not this contract ages well. And I understand the head scratching, but this is the nature of contracts now. If I was making this video 6 years ago about a defenseman that doesn't have a goal getting a contract for 7 years worth $30 million, I'd be incredulous and saying this is ridiculous and this is wrong and GMs are out of control. But now I understand better why this happens. I understand that this is speculative. This is them saying we are going to put this money down now on Samuelsson because we think he's going to have a really big year. We think he's going to be elite defensively. We want to give him this money now. We think he's got that upside, and we think he's worth it. So it really is. It is very similar, and I mean it's sort of like a stock, right? Where a company's just starting out, and you buy that stock believing that company's going to be worth a ton, and you're going to be able to cash in. You're like, it's the next Microsoft, and then later on you're like, how did I know? How did I not know that was going to fail? But in this case, and that is a potential as well. There's the potential, yeah, this contract might blow up in their faces, but there's also the potential that 3-4 years down the road, we're talking about what a bargain it is because Samuelsson's elite defensively. So it is going to be interesting with Buffalo to see who else gets this kind of money from them and just how generous they're going to be with this young core. It does send the message to the young players: if we believe in you, we're going to make sure you're financially compensated. And again, it kicks in next season. So basically, he is locked to the Buffalo Sabres for the next 8 years. So they don't have to worry about Matthias Samuelsson and how much they're going to pay him for the next 8 years. From last night's game for the New York Rangers, one bad news item out of last night's game is Kravtsov being out, and he's not traveling with the team at this point. So we don't know yet how long Kravtsov's going to be out. That information could be revealed at any point in time, right? Usually as this video is going live. So for Kravtsov, without him in the lineup, the Rangers definitely have the depth to make up for it. Really, the concern has to be on Kravtsov's side because he's wanting to prove that they miss him. They missed him last year and that they need him and show that he can be that top six forward that he believes himself to be. So this does open up a spot for somebody else. It definitely seemed to increase the ice time for Lafreniere after Kravtsov went out. So we'll see how it affects their lineup going forward. But again, the Rangers have the depth to make up for it. Brock Besser's been cleared for tonight's game against Edmonton. I'm expecting a lot of goals, I should say, in that game against Edmonton. We saw them twice in the preseason against each other and a ton of goals scored. So I expect that to be the case again tonight. This is not an unusual sight. Vancouver and Edmonton opening the season against each other. I believe I read it's the 4th year in a row that's happened. So, yeah, it's kind of a tradition now, Vancouver and Edmonton, and it's a good test for both, I think. Vancouver had a very good run after Boudreau took over. I keep reading about how mediocre they were last year, and it's kind of frustrating me only because the numbers were awful under Greene, and they were good under Boudreau. but it's not portrayed that way in some of the media I've been reading, where it's just, well, they were mediocre last year. We'll see how they do this year. And it's like, okay, that's, I mean, their overall numbers might have looked kind of mediocre, but you gotta get in the weeds. The closest I've got is seeing, well, maybe they can play as well as they did under Boudreaux when he took over last year. And it's like, oh, okay. And yet, a lot of publications are picking the Canucks to make the playoffs, so they really got to make up their mind. Is this a mediocre team that wasn't very good and they can't improve, or this is a team that's going to make the playoffs? Because both things can't be true unless the West is going to get significantly worse. So from last night's game, for those who are watching milestones, Steven Stamkos is going to hit a couple of milestones this year. He got goal number 482. Stamkos hitting 500 goals this year is nothing short of miraculous, considering the state of his shot. I want to say 3 seasons ago, where it looked like due to injury, he may never get that shot back, that the days of him scoring 40 goals might have been done, him needing to change his game. But yeah, the goal scoring has been really good the last couple of years, and his point was number 973 as well. So while Tampa Bay lost that game 3-1, Stammer had a decent game and is getting closer to his 1,000th point, his 500th goal, and of course with that, also his 500th assist. He's at 491 assists in his career. The Tampa Bay Lightning also announcing this morning that they have extended their affiliation with Syracuse through 2027. It's been a long partnership. It feels like partnerships in the AHL now are more stable than they were, I want to say, in the 80s and 90s, when it felt like every other year teams were changing their affiliation. And I say that even though there's a team here in Abbotsford that's been here for a year. They're in their second year. Of course, Calgary changed theirs. But it feels like when teams make that change now, it is to have that affiliation closer to home. So it feels like things have really changed with development, and AHL stability is positively, I think, affected it. And also, I would say that having your AHL team in that same market should help with attendance. It should help with money. So good news for Tampa fans is that Syracuse has done a very good job of helping to develop young players for the Tampa organization who can just step in. And it's been remarkable with Tampa for years how guys come in from the AHL with little to no fanfare, and they just fit in, and they go out and they play well, and it's remarkable. For tonight's game for Columbus, Elvis is out with an illness, so it doesn't sound like he's going to be out for very long. So Jet Greaves has been the emergency recall from the AHL for the Columbus Blue Jackets. AHL seasons are getting started on Friday for some teams, I believe, and this weekend for most. So yeah, Jet Greaves will not be with the AHL affiliate at this point, but when somebody's out with illness, it's probably just going to be a couple of days for Elvis, and then he should be right back at it. And of course, they need to recall Greaves because Tarasov's already up, while Korpisalo is trying to get himself ready to go. I don't think Korpisalo's that far off either. So tonight you'll see 2 goaltenders for Columbus who may not be Columbus's goaltenders a month from now. Andy Greene has signed a 1-day contract with the New Jersey Devils for the purpose of retiring as a New Jersey Devil. So Andy Greene played for New Jersey for a very long time, and retiring as the Devil, or as a Devil, is the right move. Not as the Devil. I don't think Andy Greene's actually, I don't think so. Did I just stumble on something? Probably not. But yeah, for Andy Greene, nice long career as a steady defenseman for the New Jersey Devils, and all the best to him in retirement. Felix Sandstrom. So there's been a lot of basically nothing about what's going on with Sandstrom, but it's been revealed now that he's dealing with a groin issue. That can be tough for a goaltender. That's one of those things that can kind of linger. It affects that side-to-side movement depending on where exactly that injury is. But yeah, that's what's going on with Sandstrom. That's why he hasn't been cleared to play as of yet. But it doesn't sound like it's long-term. We didn't see Philadelphia go out on the waiver wire and pick up another goaltender, which means either they believe in Hart and Urson as their goaltending tandem, or Sandstrom's not going to be out that long and they believe in him. So I'll be curious to see if Urson gets into a game or two before Sandstrom comes back, because, again, I want to see the guy play. But, yeah, for Philadelphia, most people seem to be down on Philadelphia's chances of having a good season, and so that leads me to saying, well, that makes them an underdog, so I kind of have to root for them. That's probably what will happen when their games are on. Tonight's a big night for Denver. This is the banner raising. Yes, Stanley Cup banner raising. They got their Stanley Cup rings, of course, as well. The Avalanche. And their rings look okay. A lot of the championship rings I see in sports just look huge and kind of gaudy. I understand they're worth a lot, though. So, hey, I wouldn't turn one down if I was offered one. But why in the world would I have one? But anyways, or you can get those recreations, the facsimiles, the knockoff version, right? But I'm not really interested in that either. When would I wear that? So, oh, this old thing? No. So, yeah, the banner raisings tonight, but also the team has announced that Blink 182's Mark Hoppus, who's the lead singer for Blink 182 and apparently the one member that's been there from the beginning until now, is going to do a sing along with all the small things, which, you know, when I hear Colorado fans singing along to all the small things, I'm like, you know, that sounds so much more fun. I am not a fan of Sweet Caroline at all on any level. And so when that comes on, when I'm at a Vancouver game, I just kind of hang my head, wait for it to be done. And I think, you know, Denver gets all the small things. That's so fun. That's such a fun song. And so here we are. But all right, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below about any of these items. If you're a Buffalo fan, how do you feel about the Samuelsson contract? Again, I kind of like the guts of it, that it is a contract that we're going to agree is too much right now, but it may end up being a really good long-term gamble. Let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.